What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tuner Status, the podcast. We have a very special guest here today. My boy,
Alex.
We're here chilling. We're going to be talking about some of the things, talking about his build, you know, how he got into the car scene, going to events, traveling, because I've seen you all the way down as far as Philly, and, you know, those experiences, growing up in the car scene, meeting friends, being competitive in the car scene, things like that. And, you know, taking his car just that much further. So tell me a little bit more of, I guess, how did you get introduced to this thing called cars and the car culture?
So it all started with just meeting friends, just going out in general, meeting people, just at regular places like restaurants. And come to find out, they were either dating someone or had friends that were into cars or mechanics, and it kind of just started blending. And as I started to hang out with some of them, it just was more incorporated into our days. And then weekends, you started going to meets, and so that's kind of really how it all started for me.
Okay. So what was your first car that you ended up getting?
So my first car was actually a 2006 Subaru Impreza.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So you had a Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was.
Yeah. So, you know, what made you go for the Hawkeye? Like, what did you see? You just like, yo, I gotta get this.
So it wasn't necessarily make model at that point. It was new driver, New England, all-wheel drive.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. So what was some of the first mods you did to the Hawkeye?
So honestly, I didn't start modding any of my cars until I'd say 3 or 4 cars later. I ended up getting a 2012 Impreza sedan. That's when, actually back in the day, a wrap company was actually local to my town, and so I started getting a lot of the parts wrapped. I unfortunately laugh at it now, but I put all the STI stuff on the Impreza.
We've all been,
you know what I mean?
We've all been
there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And so just got a bunch of stuff wrapped, did tons of interior work. I ended up getting, my big purchase for that car was Sparco Setos, 18-inch there. And then from there, I ended up getting a 2002 WRX.
Okay.
And that was my first turbo car, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And from there, I kind of learned the interior piece, kind of how to, you know, put what's in my head into the car.
Okay.
And then from there, I really, at that point, was into Subarus. I'll be honest, I've only ever owned Subarus. The WRX is my 7th Subaru at this point. So,
so you've been through a decent amount.
I've been through a bunch.
And you stuck with it.
That's
like,
it,
a lot of people jump shit after that first head gasket or that first transmission. So, I mean, being honest, I mean, what's it like modifying a Subaru? Because a lot of people know me in the community, I've had Subarus, and the Subarus is kind of just what I've kind of like grown into from the Hondas. But like, if you had to explain it to a new person, like, hey, listen, I'm thinking about getting into a WRX or STI. What's some advice you would have to give to them?
The first thing I would say, hands down, get your bank account ready.
Oh, shit.
Straight up. I'm not even going to lie. Any car, honestly, with modification to make it look good, interior, exterior, even wide bodies, it's pretty straightforward. I think Subaru gets more complicated when you get into the engine work.
Yeah. I remember that first time I did spark plugs, and I was like, bro, are you serious right now?
That's it. That's it. A whole mess. The only stereotype I feel like with my cars that's been, you fix something that's broken, something else breaks in the process.
Yeah.
That's a Subi thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like, and what's crazy is like owning a Subaru, when you hear what it is, you get this turbocharged, 4-cylinder motor, all-wheel drive, and it's a ride monster. You're like, damn, this is a great platform. Like, especially for New England, it's like, damn, it's got all the bang for the buck, and you know, everything should be dope. Like, I got a car that's already turbocharged. It's pretty cheap. But then you start modifying and you're like, shit, bro, I'm spending a lot of money just to crack 400 horsepower.
Yes,
like,
sir.
It's a lot of money. And then
It
when
is.
you do it, you're like, fuck, is my block gonna last? Is my transmission gonna last?
Or
like,
halfway through the job, something goes. Like your transmission or your block, and then that $1,000 bill turns into $5 real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how far have you taken your current Subaru?
Some people say too far.
Yeah.
I say
no
not
such
enough.
thing. There's no such
Never.
thing. Yeah.
Never. Excuse me. My thing is, me personally, it's my dream Subaru. Make and model. My thing is I'm really into, obviously, Japanese cars. So I went with the S202 replica with my car. Honestly, I just couldn't have been happier with it.
Yeah.
Pretty straight cut and dry. You really can't go wrong with it. The minute you start getting too crazy into it, things go wrong, but it's with every car.
Yeah.
And the only advice I can give anybody is, if you really want it to work, you just don't give up on it.
Yeah, honestly.
That's it.
Yeah, because a Subaru will teach you some shit. By the time you're done, and if you're actually putting in the wrench time with your car, you'll almost be damn near a certified mechanic by the time you're done working on that car. Because
you're forced to do it.
Yeah, dude.
Especially
it's
when
like,
you're scheduling.
Yeah, man. I think the easiest thing you can do on a Subaru is change the top mount intercooler, bro. Like, that's literally the easiest mod. Everything else, be prepared for your car to be down probably the next day.
Yeah.
And you're going to find a way for work.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is.
So now you have your car, you've built your car. You know, when did you start going to local meets and local events? And what was it like going to some of your first events for you?
So, I was actually very fortunate. So I've always gone to Import Evolution at the DCU Center. It's something I've always spectated. I bought the car in December 2018. And so 2019, I went first as a spectator. And I was just driving by, going to the handicap spots next door. And they assumed I was a show car. And they kind of pointed me in. And I'm like, oh, no, I was just looking for parking. And the host and some of the staff, they just kind of just looked at each other, they whispered, and they asked if I wanted to go in. So I was really exposed to higher quality, I should say, shows really early of getting into the car scene. So I was very blessed with that. So honestly, after that show, late 2019 is really where like, wow, this whole, culture, the whole scene, it's like, it's a lot of fun. You don't really see much, but happiness for the most part. People love looking at cars. You see the kids come in and just be really excited by all the lights and all the cool stuff like that. And so after that happened, I really just took to Facebook, kept on event pages, saw there was a lot more local meets closer to my house, and just started taking the chance and showing up. And when you start going to something, weekly meets or just every year going to the same show, the same people show up, you make good friends.
Yeah. Now, for us with the Subaru community, everybody's got to know Wicked Big Meat.
Yes, sir.
How would you describe Wicked Big Meat to somebody who's never gone?
So, Wicked Big Meat I've experienced goes one or two ways for people that don't own Subarus. So, if you own a Subaru, you're there all the time. If you have a show car, you're definitely there. But for people who don't own Subarus, they either absolutely won't go for the stereotype, how different can you make the same car? But it's also cool to get, that couple few in the bunch that really stick out. You didn't really think, oh, I didn't think I could do that to that car, or just thinking outside the box. So, it's cool to be able to take the chance, go to different shows that you normally wouldn't go to.
Yeah.
Super quick example, me going to Staggered at Thompson, Volkswagen Audi, but you still park the Subaru, you still see some awesome, cool builds, you have respect for other makes and models, and again, you make new friends, and it really broadens, your experience and exposure in the car scene.
Okay. Now you talked about going out of state. What was like making that decision, saying, you know what, I'm going to go out of state for my first out of state show?
So at this point, it's been maybe 2-3 years. I feel, me personally, we're kind of limited in New England for venues, indoor shows, kind of the whole package of what you can get in the tri-state or down in Florida and stuff like that. So it was one of those things. It was kind of a gamble, because then you get into, okay, you need a hotel, you know, etc., more gas. I think the best thing I could say is you got to take that chance. And it's honestly one of the best decisions I've ever made, to really hop out of New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts, you know, dip into New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Because it's reasonable, you know, drive time. And the type of cars are so different. Yeah. You don't see the same things over and over and over. You know what I mean?
So then, what do you feel like's missing now that you've been out of state and going to those out of state shows, between that culture and the car culture that's here?
So what's missing, honestly, venue would probably be my top thing. I would say that New England is lacking. Okay. There's not much anybody can do about that, because the best venues we have, they know they are the only venues that we have, and so they're really taxing everything. Yeah. Everything's getting way too expensive year after year, just like rent with an apartment. Yeah. Other than that, that's really it. I feel like there's a few other things that could change. Yeah. One of the biggest things that impressed me going into the tri-state, and multiple promoters do it, drivers meeting before the show. Yeah. That's something that is non-existent here in New England. What I find cool about that, it shows how the promoter does their show, how they judge, the expectations of the competitor, and the expectations of the spectators. Okay. And then the timeline. So it gets everybody in the building on the same page. Nobody's leaving with questions. No one's not knowing how things work, so they have to others stay by their car their whole time until they get judged and not really enjoy the event, etc. Yeah. So I really think that's a big tool that I would choose to change in New England.
Okay. Yeah. So now I see that you've become, affiliated with Clean Culture. How did you come about that?
So with Clean Culture, I ended up talking up with Brian, the Connecticut leader at Tuner Evo Philly. Okay. Just saying what's up, typical fanboy stuff. Yeah. I watch you guys on YouTube. I love what you do. The style of the culture is so different than New England. Yeah. Kind of just had the conversation that, like, this is the reason why I come out here. Tuner Evo Philly was a 5-hour drive one way. Ended up being almost 500 miles round trip. And it's worth the money. It's worth the time. Because it really opened my eyes to what we can do here and what is out there. And so just having that conversation just must have sparked some kind of interest in clean culture for me. Yeah. Moving forward from there, I think maybe a month or so later, I ended up going to, I forget what it's called, but in New York, I went to one of the clean culture shows. Ended up taking a trophy there, which is really cool, because it was kind of me first getting into actually winning awards. Again, said what's up to Brian, kind of met some of the guys, and he kind of just talked it up like, hey, I like your vibe, I like your commitment, clearly you're willing to drive. He's like, you should apply to become a member. Yeah. So I apply. A couple weeks go by, we're talking up future shows, making sure things are cool, and all of a sudden I get a text, and I wasn't ready for this. It was probably one of the coolest things that's happened in a while. He spoke with the owner down in Florida, and instead of, Nick, instead of...
Shout out to Nick.
That's it, man, we love you, bro. So basically, instead of making me a member, what we did is They did a few years ago have a Boston chapter.
Yep, I remember that.
It didn't work out, and so just kind of giving them the comfort that, again, willing to travel, willing to promote, willing to just show people what can be done in the community. So they ended up taking the chance with me, revamping our New England chapter as me as lead, and just kind of bringing clean culture closer into Massachusetts, back through Connecticut, and
nice. So, yeah, shout out to Nick and the guys, man. They've always been, solid. Like, I really mess with them and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's good to see to get these boys back up here and get some of the culture and what they have to add to the car scene up here as well. So I'm assuming that you guys probably have big plans in the works to get things rolling.
We do. A few things I could talk about. Actually, a week from today, 420 weekend in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We're collabing with Timeless Expo at the Showboat Hotel for our season opener. And as well, we have one coming up at in Pennsylvania, Dutchess Stadium in New York.
Okay.
Got a bunch of them coming up, and then the big one, kind of to really show people where we're coming to New England, is going to be Palmer Speedway, August 3rd. That's going to be kind of the, get us out there, kind of work with venues around here to see if we can start getting the option of the full package, burnout competition, drifting, show, drag strips, any of that.
Yeah. All right, cool. So it sounds like you got a busy season and a busy next couple of years, and the future looks definitely dope for you and everything like that. And with the car, and I've seen the revamp of the car, and I mean, how's this new phase of the car treating you?
It is honestly, it's amazing. Finally got it on air ride suspension after 5 years.
Yeah. How do you feel? Because some people feel like air ride is a godsend, but I mean.
So hear me out. So with air ride so far, I've noticed if you adjust coilovers, you can get the perfect ride. Yeah. But I think the price point you pay is for the convenience of not worrying you're gonna bottom out.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Hands down. Because the parts ain't cheap, man. Front lips, rear diffusers.
Yeah. Big money.
Rear diffs. Oil pans. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's dope. So far, besides the air ride, what's your favorite mod that you've done to the car so far with this?
Besides all the genuine S202 parts.
Yeah.
I think just the revamp of the interior for all the carbon pieces. The carbon fiber is really a big theme in my build.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything on the interior that isn't carbon at this point.
Y'all better watch out.
Dash pillars.
These cookies ready to cook y'all out there, so.
I'm coming, man. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the number one, probably my wheels.
Okay.
Probably my wheels.
Okay.
So I did originally have the original S202 wheels, but then with the wide body, I was running 3-inch spacers. You know what I'm saying? So
that's wild, bro. Oh shit!
After a year of that, all 4 wheel bearings shot.
Yeah.
Coilovers blown.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's like every year. Am I gonna? Because I need a press to do my car, so I need to pay shop prices.
Yeah.
I don't have friends with the press, so it's either every year do 4 wheel bearings at shop price or bite the bullet, buy the 3-piece wheels.
Okay.
So I was really disappointed. I'd have to let go of the genuine wheels. So I ended up working with my buddy Jake with Demon Forge. He works with a company that is known for making stock wheels, 3-piece wheels. So what we did is we mapped out in our heads with the S202 face made by Rays, just kind of recreate the wheel with my purple being a secondary color to my build. Did the hardware in purple, and then carbon's my favorite. I had to do the big carbon barrel on there too.
Fancy. Okay, I can respect it.
If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's a lot of change, man. Because I remember when I first saw your car in that phase that it was, and to see where it's at now, it's come a long way, dude. Like,
Yes,
much
sir.
respect, because
Appreciate
it's
you.
things that you see people put together pieces of their car and things like that. And it's not to knock anybody or anybody's budget, but you know, what you try to push is like, hey, even if you're gonna modify a car, you don't have the biggest budget. At least do quality mods to it. Yes, it might not be even if it's not real carbon or not real hardware, not real parts, whatever. At least do your best to make it fit as best as possible, so that way it adds to the quality of the car.
Excellent.
And everything that I've seen on your car, it's complemented and it's added to the quality. There's so much respect on that.
I appreciate you.
You know,
so it takes time, and you know, it's trial and error. Because honestly, before all the carbon replacement, the real carbon wheels, it was carbon wrap.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's made of money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Stuff and with Subarus.
We don't even gotta go.
Yeah,
I think they all know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So, you know, we've seen that, you know, you're traveling and you've been around, you got the car and you're meeting new people and things are going. What would you have to say for you, honestly, what's the best year for you in the car scene?
So, for me, I feel like, honestly, 2019 was probably the best for me.
You're the first one to say, yo, everybody that comes up here is always between 14, 15, 16. So you are the first oddball.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I bought the car December 18. I wasn't in the scene before that.
Okay.
So, you know.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So 2019 was my first year. I don't mean to throw people back too much, but one of my first meets I went to was at India Point.
Okay.
Improv. Oh, so that kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that kind of gave me real quick the whole package. The car meet, the showpiece of the underglow at night, the racing, everything. Just kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
And then, like, over time, just honestly, even the Providence Police, it's like we were good till 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so, yeah, it's been a ride. I feel like the beginning was better.
Okay.
Less of the local takeover stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but, you know, in time, things change.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hope for New England in the car scene.
Yeah.
People just got to be willing. Be willing for change. Be willing to do something different. Be willing to travel and just experience.
Yeah. So as we come to the close, and I appreciate you taking the time to come through, anytime. Show up to the pod, tell your story, you know, give some people some insights, look forward, you know, what's coming for you, your build, clean culture, and everything like that. And not to be too morbid or anything like that. I always tell you guys, but, you know, what's something that you say you yourself want to be known and respected for, you know, amongst your peers, within friends, family, car culture, you know, just life in general? What's something that you feel like you want to be known for?
So I would say general concept of what I would like to be known and remembered for, just being different, not being afraid to be different, not taking people's negativity too much to heart, letting things go, and just showing people it doesn't matter what people think. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And it will end in success.
Okay.
Because think, my WRX is automatic. How much shit do you think I get in the car scene for that?
Dude, I can't even fucking imagine, bro. I can't imagine. Because first off, where do you even find an automatic WRX, bro? That's like finding a stock exhaust for an Evo.
That's it. But over the years, as I've built the car, as I've really made it different, people don't even comment. It's more of a surprise now instead of WTF.
Yeah.
It's more of a, it still looks so sick. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And especially on them freaking long ass drives, yo, really, who cares?
That's it,
bro?
right?
Who really cares? Because I'll tell you what, there's sometimes where I leave them shows and I got to drive all the way. Because let's face it, after Tuner Evo Philly, you hit Wawa, and then reality comes back to you like, dude, if I'm lucky, I'm gonna make it back in like 6 hours, 7 hours, bro. I am so freaking tired. And you're like, yo, I wish I had a Tesla.
Yeah.
Autopilot all
halfway
the way back,
through
yo.
food coma.
Oh my God, dude. It is wild, yo. So yeah, man. So once again, much respect for what you're doing, what you contributed to the car scene, and I really appreciate you taking your time and coming up here, bro, for real.
I appreciate you.
Tell people where they can find you at.
So you can find me Instagram, iimprezher, iimprezher.
All right, cool. And any final shout outs to anybody who contributed to the build and any of the guys?
So shout out to my boy Mike DeLeese. Shout out to John, just all my homies that have really rode with me from the beginning, really helped me with the side mechanic work. Really appreciate you guys. Shout out to Clean Culture for taking that chance on me.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm really gonna do my best to show you guys you didn't make a mistake there. I did want to say one more thing. Clean Culture is recruiting in New England. You can show me out on Instagram if you are interested, feel like you want to really broaden your horizons within the car scene, you know, be willing to travel, just have a good time with good people. Just shoot me a message, and we're coming this year.
Yes, sir. Well, as you guys know, thank you for watching the pod. Thanks for all the support and the love and everything that you guys are giving us. And yeah, to the next time, you guys know the vibe. Stay up, stay blessed. Peace. All right, cool.